Hey, Robert here. Are you in the process of really learning 3D art, becoming a 3D artist, improving your professionalism, getting into the industry, or really trying to become that high level 3D professional? Then this video is for you because I've been making this list of what are really the skills, or let's call them pillars, you need to become a well-rounded 3D artist, like a good high-level creative professional. And I want to share this list today because I really think it's going to help a lot of people out there to understand what you can and should focus on in your learning and improvement. But before I do that, my name is Robert. I've been a 3D game artist for 22 years, and the last 8 I've been running my own art and 3D studio called Mesh Masters. And beginning this year, I really started to extend what we do with Mesh Masters with a coaching and training pillar, to really give back to the community, to give back all the learnings of the 22 years, the failures, everything that has made me into that professional, to help others become that as well. So if you're interested, make sure you check out our website or reach out to me. But back to the video and this list, right? So it's a no-brainer that one of the core elements of being a 3D artist is to be able to model, to do the actual 3D, the modeling, the UVing, the texturing, topology, sculpting, all of that makes a lot of sense. But really it's only a small little piece. And it is the number one on this list, and I call that the modeling proficiency. The funny thing is that even though this is the core of what we do, at the same time, I consider it the easiest one to master and learn. Because in the end, it is really only technique. It's easy to learn. Technique. Just do it a lot, explore many things, and you will learn the technique of modeling. So that's number one in this list of skills that will help you become that professional, right? But what about the rest? Number two is the artistic mastery and design. And what I mean with that is, okay, you know how to model, cool, you know how to sculpt, you know how to bake, but many 3D artists tend to be quite weak on the designing part of themselves. So can you design something from scratch that looks really good and high quality? A good example is, it is very common that from either your freelancing client, or if you're at a studio, from your art director, you might get a brief of, we need you to model, say, a vehicle with a certain mood and feeling. You might get some reference images, so a sort of direction, but yeah, figure it out, make it look cool. Can you do that? Can you design something that looks really great from such a vague brief, a design brief, really? And for some of you, maybe you're working at bigger companies and then everything is kind of chewed out for you already. So you'll get the concept art. And at that point, you're just modeling. You're the 3D modeler. But if you're a 3D artist, design, art, understanding art is really key. So yeah, the modeling part is important, the modeling proficiency, but also the artistic design part. That includes creativity as well, but I'll get to that later. Moving on to this list of really important pillars that you should master and learn. Collaboration and communication. This is really the soft skills, right? It's called soft skills. How well are you working together with people, communicating, deadlines, managing yourself? And it might not seem that important or kind of like a side thing, but in my opinion, after doing and running Mesh Masters with small team of artists, hiring people, etc., it is really, in my opinion, the most important skill. Why? Because if you know how to handle yourself professionally, how to handle deadlines, how to handle pressure, how to communicate correctly and on time, how to work together, all of that, weaknesses in people and yourself or the team can be tackled by the team. So let's say you're really good at modeling, but you suck at designing, like I said earlier, that's point 2 on the list. Doesn't matter, because you can then communicate that correctly with the team, and then with the team you can figure out, oh, I need to make that vehicle. Let's use the power of the team so you can make that vehicle better. Or maybe you're on a tight deadline, you need to finish that vehicle, but you're running behind. It is so common for people then to just hustle forward in their isolated bubble, trying to reach for that deadline, to then usually at the end not reach it anyway or half-assed, which at that point it is a problem for the entire team and the manager and art director, usually me. And so stress, fire, chaos. Instead, maybe if you would have communicated earlier and more openly, we could have faced that problem of running late together. So communication, collaboration, in my opinion, the most important. Be conscious of it. It's a bit harder to train. It's also very related to just, getting the experience, but be conscious of it. So you can at least consciously improve it. So we've had modeling proficiency, artistic mastery, collaboration and communication. Moving on to engine integration and tech. Now these days, with all these free engines everywhere, game engines are very accessible these days, which is great. So many people already are playing in them. It's very common for 3D artists to, do stuff in Unreal Engine, and it's good. Still, though, I noticed many people, they've played around in them, many 3D artists, but when it comes to actually finishing well-produced, finished, good-to-go work, they kind of lack still a little bit in not only understanding of game engines, but also in the precision needed for the delivery. So what I'm saying here is, obviously learn to implement your work, the meshes, the textures, the materials, the shaders, but what about collision meshes? Do you understand collision? Do you understand lighting? Do you understand particle effects? Do you understand how to do an entire scene or cameras? Does it mean you need to be like a programmer? No. But the rule I always have for myself and the team, so the team at Meshmasters, is the work you deliver, so give to the next person, should be ready for a programmer. And why do I say programmer? Because a programmer will never touch art. They don't know art. They don't want to touch it. They just want a delivery or a package which is fully done, bug-free, hassle-free, looking great, immediately ready for technical implementation, but also interaction implementation. That means your object needs to be fully done with all the materials, textures, shaders. Possible particle effects needs to be added. Anything rigging and animation needs to be ready. And all of that needs to be like a complete package with the collision meshes and everything, so the programmer doesn't have to think about it. And this is where a lot of 3D artists tend to, kind of drop the ball. They usually another person needs to step in to really finish it up so it can go to the programmer. And if you're able to learn that so you can fully do that, man, you're just like a powerhouse of an artist at that point. So engine, tech, and integration, that includes understanding how things work in the background. Like, what is mesh? How does that even work? What is draw calls? What is vertex count? How does that even work? So learn that, it's important. So far we've had modeling proficiency, artistic mastery, collaboration and communication, and engine integration. Now we got a couple of points which is more business related. The first one being branding, portfolio, and presentation. Again, another point where many 3D artists are kind of dropping the ball, in my opinion. Even though it is kind of our job, we're visual creators, but still many kind of fail at branding their portfolio and presentation. So what do I mean here? So branding, what is branding? It is the impression or the mark you leave on people. So when people look at your portfolio or when they meet you at an event, what feeling do they get? What mark do you leave behind? And this is obviously super important, because if you're leaving let's say an impression of you're the beginner, are they going to hire you? Probably not. So build your brand so you come across with how you want to be, which is hopefully a professional, a trustworthy person, somebody they can build on, somebody they can, like I said, trust that what you will deliver is on time, on point, looking great, ready for whatever the needs are. So be conscious of your brand, design your brand, and implement your brand in everything which is also your portfolio. So be conscious of how you build your portfolio, be conscious of the structure, how you present it, how people go through it. And that, of course, is also with presentation around your art and your objects you made. How well do you present your character, scenes, objects, whatever it is? Is it well rendered, or does it look professional? All of that is part of your brand. Super important if you want to make a chance in this industry when it comes to getting hired, getting clients, etc. Moving on to the next, which is networking and personal marketing and outreach. Kind of related to the branding, but how, once you have your brand and your portfolio, how do you step into the world? How do you promote yourself? How do you talk to people? How do you outreach? And how do you network? How do you build connections? Now, of course, many 3D artists and artists in general tend to be a little more on the introverted side. So am I, by the way. So there's probably a lot of resistance around, networking and promoting yourself. And I'm not saying you should, become a robot or not listen to your soul and feelings. But it is still very important that you find a form that fits you. So for example, when it comes to networking, maybe it doesn't mean go to all the networking events and try to talk with everybody and try to gain opportunities. It could also mean building more friends, deeper connections, maybe less people, but deeper connections. And that social circle is still there's so much value there, not only in opportunities, but it's just fun to do this journey together. It's the same with personal marketing and outreach, like social media channels. Like you probably already have an art station, but maybe posting on LinkedIn could still be very cool. Or maybe YouTube. And I'm not saying you have to do those things or all of them, but it is very important that you do show the world what you do. And also here, find your own way of how to do that. Maybe there's a way where you can employ LinkedIn and posting on LinkedIn, which feels very aligned to you. Super important. Networking, marketing, outreach. We're almost there. The last one, freelance operations. Doesn't apply to everybody, of course, but many people do have maybe a job and then they freelance on the side. And how do you do that? How do you find clients? How do you manage yourself? How do you do all your admin, the paperwork, the contracts, the invoicing, the bookkeeping? And again, the whole branding and marketing thing comes around the corner here as well. So how do you do freelancing? Pretty key a key pillar if you're going to do that. And then the last one on the list, which is more, yeah, it's more like a bonus really, which is alignment with yourself, alignment with your soul and creativity. And what I mean here is, it is very easy in our current world to, yeah, become almost like the construction worker. It's kind of like a rat race, like an art rat race, really. Like, be faster, produce more, better quality work. You know, you need to be able to follow the community and be on that high level of like 3D production, and it is very important. But in that journey, in this sort of rat race we're in, it's very easy to forget about yourself. What is really your passion? What turns you on? What do you like to make? Yeah, what makes you you? What is so unique about you? And art really is an emotional thing. Art is something unique to you. So don't forget about that. For me, it actually took me, I don't know, 10 years before I really understood what creativity was. And it's maybe only like recently in the last 5 years, so I'm 40 right now, where I really started to understand, oh, wait a minute, what I really like to do is more in this other direction, which is, you know, environments and a whole thing there. So don't forget to stay close to yourself, to cultivate that fire you have, that passion you have. And like I said, production is also needed, but don't forget about the passion. So yeah, let me just recap the list. Yeah, the list of what I consider really the pillars needed to be that high level professional, right? Modeling proficiency, makes sense. Artistic mastery and design, collaboration and communication, engine integration and tech, branding, portfolio and presentation, networking, personal marketing and outreach, the freelancing operation, and the alignment with yourself. Pretty epic list. A list I created last week, and a list I'm really gonna double down on to really give back what I said earlier, everything I learned, to give that back to the community. And I think this list really includes everything in that journey to be that high level professional. So you're definitely going to see more of these points and pillars back, not only in my content, but also what I teach. And if you too are on a journey to become better, to get into the industry, to really become that creative professional, make sure you check out our website, join our Discord, you know, follow the videos I'm making, or feel free to just shoot me some questions on LinkedIn or email if you like. I'm really doing this new movement to help you and the others out there as well. So yeah, use that opportunity, and I will catch you in the next video.